Jeff can't see. Got Jeff in the dark. Fun times.
I am in dark, Dre. Good for me.
Okay.
We've started. That's good.
Jeff should be able to see me.
Oh, there. Hey,
Oh,
hey.
Zach can't make the whole thing, so that's a bummer.
He's got 28 minutes
All right.
to watch.
So Jeff, I was unable to naturally acquire a Hulk hologram, so just went out and bought one. But we got some fun stuff today, Jeff. We're going to be breaking some of your favorites, some Jabba's Palace, Decipher. I'm kind of annoyed because I bought you a booster and you got the Princess Leia in it, and I'm like, that's what you want. You don't need a whole box. So like, you did it efficiently. I absolutely hate it. Welcome to I Must Drake You. I am your host, Dre Alvarez. With me again, back from traveling, is Jeff. How's it going, Jeff? Jeff May from the internet.
Good. Back from traveling. Has it been that long? No. Last week I was here.
Last week you were kind of here that literally, this was an outage. Like, I had an internet where my internet went. I normally get 300 if I'm right next to the router easily, up to 1 gig in theory. Usually at least 100 up in my office, and it went down to like 1, and literally YouTube was like, we can't do anything with this, and so I had to hop to my phone. When I hopped to my phone, we lost you. So I Must Drake You. Of course, if you like this kind of stuff, head over to patreon.com/Jeff May. You can get stuff sent to you in the mail. I don't know what your problem is, phone. Literally, I hate technology.
Oh, things are getting.
It's the same as always, Jeff.
Dre,
no, we are doing
it's all right, man.
We are doing
We're looking at this through a frosted window, while your computer is just.
We got it. No, the computer's working this week. All right, so Jeff, I'm jealous of you. So we're going to talk some mail. So what we're going to do, we're going to do some Jabba's Palace. That's what we're going to break, because we might send some stuff to PSA for grading, because they do have a special going on this month. I do have a package in transit, basically. It's going to take at least a little longer because I have a signed Art Adams card from you that I just have to wait. And I'm standing right over the phone, Jeff, and like tapping it every couple of seconds. So thank you for keeping an eye on the chat, Jeff. I see you being active there. If anybody says anything really cool, feel free to like respond to them and let me know, and I'll go from there, because I have to keep an eye.
So Zach is saying that your volume is really low.
All right. Well,
at least on here.
Yeah, relative to you, I think mine is lower.
Yep, Brandon is saying the same thing. Your volume needs to get a little bit higher.
All right. How is that, everybody? I just turned up my volume. How am I sounding relative to Jeff now? Or maybe I was just whispering. That's a funny trick, Jeff, but apparently whispering does get people to listen more closely. Okay, so we're going to do some mail.
Yeah, Kelly's also saying you sound like 100 miles away. Wow, they're saying it's better now. You're back, Dre. Dre is back.
I'm back. We're going to do some mailbag. You actually had you were back for your mailbag on Friday, Jeff. Loved it. Actually still need to put the notes there. Jeff, I just went ahead and sent out for this because the price is right. It would cost $15 to $20 to get this graded. I actually have 5 from Adam Todd Brown, so there's a chance I could get a Dikembe Mutombo Gem Mint 10 on my own. But you know what? They're cheaper than $40 on eBay. So I just went out and bought this. This is one I want for my collection. That leads up to a Grail object that I am really happy about. Here on I Must Drake You, I like completing sets, as we've seen. And this is 1991-1992 Fleer Expanded Edition. And they went all in on Mutombo, because if you look at the front of this box, let me see if I can center that.
They're like Mutombo inserts.
They're specialty Mutombo inserts. In fact, I got one of these in that random binder I found at like the card shop for like $5, which is awesome. And guess what, Jeff? Some of these are autographed. This box was less than $60, and this box is pretty hefty, so it can last me a couple weeks. So from the perspective of the I Must Drake You complete a set and budget, this is perfect, because my other like Grail object is the signed Jim Lee Rogue card in the Impel Uncanny X-Men 1991. Those suckers are $200 a box, and you don't even have a guarantee. So it's like, I can spend $60 a box, get one of these every couple of months. It's a periodic show that comes up searching for the Dikembe Mutombo auto. I can put together sets that, hell, Jeff, maybe we even send out to fans, right? I could put together like a mini box of a completed set of these and send them out. That's a lot of fun. 200s where it gets a little too spicy, unfortunately, to be able to justify it. In terms of set completions, Here's another cool one, same vein. So, this is one of my completed sets, Jeff.
What you got?
I got 1991 NBA Fleer. You don't have to.
91 Fleer, huh?
That's fun. But one thing I did send away for recently that is really cool is this was a really cheap insert set to get. I am not used to the centering on like a full binder. I'm used to centering on a single card. But I sent away for the insert set of Rookie Sensations, Jeff. So this is the full set of that. So I now actually have everything. In 1990-91 NBA Fleer, I have the base set, I have the expanded set, I have the rookie card sensations, I have the all-star sensations. You are viewing me through frosted glass. I think the reason, by the way, is, Jeff, Apple had to let me know that I paid for something, and Apple's wonderful. It's like, hey, you paid for something with your Apple card recently, so let's take it back. But it should be back, by the way.
So I'm going to screw up your camera. Good job.
I love technology. And we were talking about that pre-show where, like, the camera on your phone is the best, which is frustrating because, you know, it would be nice to just get something that's just a camera, but that's hundreds and hundreds of dollars, and I already have a phone that, you know, I paid for with my plan. So, yeah. This, by the way, Jeff, is the inaugural season of 1989-90 Hoops. We showed some of this recently. I bumped my camera to show it for you. That's how special it is. I got the completed set recently.
Look at that.
This was going through eBay, going through sellers. Was much easier than completing 1991 Impel Marvel Universe 1, where I was bugging people about font sizes. This was much easier. If you look, I get to the end of the set. This is the Detroit Pistons. The Detroit Pistons in the top middle. That is the final card in the set. And you will notice, though, Jeff, I got more cards in my binder past it. These are all the misprint cards in the set. And you know what? I love this set, Jeff, because guess how many misprints there are? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. That this card goes 2 past, so it actually fits perfectly in a numbered 9 card binder, which I love. So this is a complete NBA hoop set that has the base. I broke many of the base cards myself out of some hobby boxes I bought. Those are very affordable as well. But there's just I didn't want to break for the remainders, Jeff, because there's just so freaking many cards that you wind up with at the end. Speaking of which, Jeff, on to the main event. Star Wars CCG. Which is kind of, I'll say this makes a lot of sense. This is Star Wars CCG Decipher. Hey, guess what? We did a podcast about this. You can go to the back catalog of Nerd. Mike Slater, if you were in the chat, go ahead and take a shot. And as we mentioned routinely, Mike does, in fact, do the music for the shows. We'll use, I like Primer as a backdrop, as we know. And so, Mike also sponsors the Nerd podcast that Jeff and I do. Again, patreon.com/Jeff May. If you head over there, you can support all of the fun stuff we do. Jeff Has Cool Friends, your bi-weekly podcast. Oh, that's what I get for getting up to get Primer, Jeff. All right.
Look at that.
So you
would have thought that would happen.
Your bi-weekly podcast.
Who would have thought we would?
It's keeping me on my toes, Jeff. It's keeping me on my toes. So let's see. 1, 2, 3, 4... 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So yeah, we did a podcast on this, Jeff. If you head over to patreon.com/Jeff May, Jeff does podcast. Jeff Has Cool Friends, his bi-weekly show. Nerd, his monthly show. Ugg Fine with Kim Crawl, his monthly show. As well as Jeff... What? I'm loving this. I'll keep talking. This is good. It's like pause for commercial.
Real frosty.
It's like pause for station identification, right?
Pause for technical difficulties.
All right. So with that in mind, Jeff, basically,
I don't like the way you said that name.
I said Jeff.
You were like Jeff.
Jeff. Did you like that? By the way, throwing this out, getting off on tangent number 1. Nate Bergazzi showed up, I probably messed up that name too, on SNL again. And he said, like, having different ways to say names in the United States. And he said, like, or different ways to spell. And he's like, Jeff, one with a G and one with a J. And I was like, there's another way to spell Jeff that's even stupider. I love it. Okay.
A worse way. My way.
Worst way to spell Jeff. Shout out to Exploding Ruins in the chat, who Jeff is trying to feed another addiction. You have fed my card addiction, and Exploding Ruins is trying to get me back into Pokemon Go. And I bring that up because a friend of mine who was into Pokemon Go out here actually pinged me this weekend because there were huge raids going on, apparently. Frosted glass is what it is.
Big deal.
There were
Yeah, what's
huge.
going like why does that keep happening?
I am.
Apple keeps doing this. Have you
Yeah,
considered putting on Do Not Disturb?
that's a good idea. One sec, Jeff. So you'll see my hand in the way, just in
Would that
case.
help?
Yeah, it might. I'll take it. I'll take that advice. Okay. So anyway, we're doing Star Wars CCG. This is 1998. This is. Do you happen to know off the top of your head which set number this is, Jeff?
Let's see. We had Premiere, New Hope,
Well, I could save this
Off,
for Jeff.
Dagobah, Cloud City, Jabba's Palace. So that'll be 6, and then I think Special Edition is going to come out right after this.
Special edition would be fun. That one, unfortunately, goes up in price. So we've mentioned this on the show. Some of the later
Yeah.
sets. Oh, fantastic!
That-
So Jeff, how's this rare? How's my full Thane?
Oh, this guy, this old doofus right here. He's really big with Imperial starships, right? Like he's a big pilot guy.
He can deploy free to your starship. Adds 2 to the power. Wow, 2 to the power of any starship, and he's cheap.
Well, that adding 2 to the power of any starship he pilots was pretty much the standard back in the day.
No, I was saying cheap in
Um,
terms of like deploy, right? Because he's like only a 2-2, like he's a 2-3, right?
Yeah, what's the other thing he does?
When he's in a battle system, adds 2 to each of your battle destiny draws. Holy cow! And that bored my phone to
Okay, yeah,
tears.
so that's really big. But now we have a nice frosty
And he's back.
video there. Um,
So there's
yeah.
that. That's my one rare. And I'll say this about collecting cards, right? The interesting thing about CCGs, if that's what you're going for as a completionist, the problem is you're going to get a ton of duplicates because the way these packs work, right? These each have 9. So I think it's what, like 5 uncommons, 4, like 3, like 5,
5, 3, and 1.
5, 3, 1, right? So we're
Yeah,
we're gonna start seeing a lot of redundancies. And this is a point we've brought up with
It's not a particularly big set either. Like it's mostly most of your rares are actually going to be aliens, which is like that's the only set where most of the rares are characters. Usually a lot of rares are like starships or red cards, and red cards are usually the ones people want the last.
That's a cool card though. The quick reflexes.
Oh, what's that?
Quick
Is that
reflexes
quick
from
reflex?
Boba Fett. Yeah.
Yeah, that's a good one.
And we've had this discussion with Ruins in the chat about binders versus like nicer ones you can use. And what I'll say is that's the other thing about CCGs is CCGs are one-sided, right? All of the backs are the same, whereas the cards I like, the trading cards or the Marvel cards, have stuff on the back. So that does influence what type of binder you want to
You got
give.
an Ishi Tib.
What the heck is
Yeah.
this? It's ridiculous.
It's funny because
These look so...
you're like waving the cards in front of it, so I can't read.
Okay, let me try. Let me
the
try and get that. So, because here's what's hard. Normally, I've got this well placed for like
6,
sports.
I believe, right?
But if I do here, okay, I'm learning. We're learning together, and then I also have to stay close enough to the phone so it doesn't disconnect. But yeah, so here is where I want to hold it for you to read, and then it can go down onto primer.
Oh yeah, that's right. I forgot. I sent Zach Yates a quick reflexes. Because he's such a Boba Fett fan. Dune C. Sabic, that's my shit.
Yeah, because we've mentioned on the nerd episode of Star Wars CCG, Jeff brings up that he liked to have funny strategies and gambling, and Sabic was a good one. All right, Jeff.
Is that your rare? I think that's your rare.
No, I think my
Or
rare.
do I have a bad?
Maybe. I think this is my rare, and this is actually a badass
Nope,
rare.
it is not.
Really?
That's not your rare.
Are you sure this is?
No, not someone who loves. Wait,
Okay.
which one? That one right there?
I've got Strangle.
Nope.
So Strangle, R2, I've got a bad feeling.
Strangle, I think is. I believe Strangle is.
This was the third from
Wait.
last. R2, I have a bad feeling. And
Strangle
was
is
last.
it's a 7 destiny, right?
Yeah, look at
yeah,
that.
that is.
This is actually a cool card, though. Like in terms of
there are no all 7 destinies are, I believe, or at least in the original sets, either fixed or rare. So yeah, that's an easy way to figure that one out.
Okay, just making sure we're still live. Okay. But yeah, the thing about collecting CCGs, as I mentioned, one, you can get nicer binders because you don't have to worry about double-sided. That's an issue I have. I'm sorry, Jeff. When I binder up my cards for complete selections, I got to see the back. I got to be able to see the box scores. I got to be able to see which comics they appeared in. CCGs have that, right? They have a different back, but then also,
Yeah.
as mentioned, because
Oh,
we
no,
have
frosted.
common, uncommon, rare, despite the fact that this box easily has enough for the complete set, I'll look up in just like, here's the thing. I'm not going to be man of the van tonight with how it's been sketchy. I got to stay right by the phone. So normally I might go type in and find out for Star Wars CCG. But you're right. This isn't a particularly big set. Probably, I think like 162 cards, maybe like 81
You're
on each side.
so you're gonna get the base set minus rares.
Gonna
You're
get.
gonna have everything but we're frosty again.
Thank you. Yeah, and
Um,
definitely keep me alerted
you're gonna
anytime
get
that
the
happens.
oh, I sure will. I sure will. So this is the second week in a row that we're having a technical snag, but it's a different snag.
Yeah, that's what's annoying is as a tech guy, when the same thing goes wrong, you can do something with that, right? You can fix it. And when different stuff goes
Yeah.
wrong, it's just slightly frustrating. And then, but I'm still, you and I have this slight dichotomy where like I'm willing to juggle, especially since for the moment on the Jeff Has Cool Cards network, if you have not liked, if you have not subscribed, please do so. It really, really helps. I'm, like the
Hey
afterthought.
Zach, see you later. Have a good one.
Bye, Zach. You didn't get a chance to see me. Okay, wait. Let's just do our rare. Nope. That's a cool rare
Oh,
though.
Bane Malar, that's a really good one.
This
That's
is
a
a cool.
bounty hunter, 1/4.
This is a this
That's
is
a good card.
this is a
I
Muppet.
actually really like that.
The nice Muppet card, right? Cookie Monster or something. So he's a bounty
Yeah.
hunter. May use one force. Sorry, let me try and keep it. I'm trying to both read it and keep it in frame so you all can read along with me. May use one force to mind scan one opponent's non-droid character of lesser ability present. What does lesser ability mean? Would that be less than Force 4? Yeah, Force 4, sorry.
Yeah, their ability has to be under 4.
Yep. Adds that character's power and game text to his own for their. That is wicked. So this guy can literally steal an opponent's powers for a
Game
round. That is nuts.
Yeah. Good card.
I'll take it.
I like that card.
So far liking them. Don't worry, Frosty, but that's I'm not minding because Jeff, I'm sleeving up cards right now, so it's okay for it to.
Ooh, we're frosty again, big
Oh,
boy.
I know. I beat you to it, but I said it was fine because in this case, I was sleeving it up. Other thing I kind of hate about CCGs as a collector, Jeff, if you notice, like if I go to any of my Impel Marvel, go to the Fleer set I picked up, they're going to be numbered on the back. Whereas these, you now have to make an active decision.
Yeah,
How do you order them? Do you
it's
order?
alphabetical.
You do alphabetical, but then that's frustrating because there are different types of
There
cards.
are two ways people order. Yeah, alphabetical is the way CCGs tend to be listed. And then on top of that, you can go to the next pack, by the way. On top of that, some people like to do alphabetical, but also categorical.
Yep.
So like
So
they
as we
might
can
put,
see,
like,
common. So
character.
we got another quick reflexes here, right? And then we went frosty.
Oh,
'cause
we're
it
frozen.
got bored with that.
Yep.
So you want to know the fun?
Man, that is so funny that keeps happening.
Yeah, ish. Okay, there we go.
I mean, it's kind of funny.
I'll take it. I would prefer
I mean,
humor,
I
and
don't
I'm
know.
glad you're here to talk because if it's just like me cursing tech, at least we're talking. I think I've
Yeah.
seen this one before. The Whiffid, comes out of a. And by the way, my rare is an alien. It could be no, it's a light side, so it can't be Jabba. That's a bummer. I'm turning into
The light side.
who's the
It could be.
help me out
It could be
here.
Urkick the neck.
Who does
That's
the
Labria's,
who does
that's
the
the
weekly
Deveronian.
pack break on Monday of Star Wars CCG? Help me
You
just
mean
with the
Igor
name.
Chow?
Igor Chow does
Eric,
another, yeah,
Eric Garchow?
another great channel to follow. I've seen Arc Welder before. Ooh, that's fun. Mandalorian Mishap and Tanis
It's what's his name?
Tanis
Tanis Screege or whatever?
Spajek.
Spijek or whatever? Yeah, it's a Yavin, I believe, right?
Win
He's
at
a
Yavin
spy? I
Foresight
can't
adds
really
one
see it.
tier 4 strains at an Alderaan system for each Yavin Foresight you control. That's an interesting one. So there we go.
Yeah, it's a really big, like, hero of the rebellion kind of deck right there. You would have it just be rebel bases and Alderaan, and you can have a pretty sick force drain if you're controlling Yavin.
That is, we talked about this on the nerd episode. Okay, we're going to have some more talks in a second from chat. We talked this on the nerd episode of Star Wars CCG, where it's interesting because you're like making your own stories, but it does start getting interesting as you just have timelines kind of start collapsing. And you were even mentioning as soon as they did the prequels, you get something very weird because you can have Darth Vader and Anakin out at the same time. Or not quite, right? But you can have like Obi-Wan Kenobi from that
You
other
could
one.
have Ben Kenobi. Yeah, you could have the different
You could
Obi-Wans.
have
Oh,
you could have
Frosty.
you could have
Um,
Anakin Skywalker out next to old Ben Kenobi, right? Like this guy.
Oh,
Oh, this guy. Was he in the old one originally? I know he shows up prominently in the like
hold on.
recreated
Did my
dance screen.
my headset died?
So Jeff said his headset dies. So it is that kind of night, everybody. I'll just keep going. So we've got Gamorrean
No,
Axe.
I'm
Good
still
morning.
here. It just died
What does that mean? How are you here with a dead headset though?
because I'm on my phone, so I can just.
Oh, so you look at that, Jeff using
Now
a
I'm just
phone like a
now I'm just
phone.
like on. Now I'm just on like speakerphone.
All right, Jeff using a phone as a phone. We got a skiff, actually got a vehicle. These have been rare, right? A lot of sets, vehicles, starfighters. Jabba's palace doesn't have a
Those
lot of
aren't
those.
rare, they're common.
No, no.
Idiot.
Here's one thing. I ran into this
Oh, the Great
before.
Pit of Carcoon. That's great.
I hate things that have common words as their Frosty, Jeff. Let's every time we go Frosty, take a shot, people.
Frosty.
But I was going to say, Jeff, as a nice aside, I hate things that use common words as special words. So yeah, like in CCGs, using rare as a word is just. I'm like
Ooh,
rare. I'm
is that bargaining table?
Ooh, yes,
That's
it
a
is
great card.
bargaining table. And so is this coming up with what you were saying about your love? You may
I
cancel a
like
force
that card a
strain by
lot.
placing here any non. Aliens may deploy from here as if from hand. Ooh, all right. Someone who loves you. And, oh,
That
heck
was
yeah,
great for my
Jeff.
Jawa deck.
Boom.
Oh,
Boom.
nice. A
Boom.
10-tail Screech. Nice pull.
And by the way, because we have to do this, Jeff always, we talk about types of nerd. And Jeff is a bigger nerd than me, which is saying something. I got nerd in the name. Look at that. Look at that. There we go. That is top.
That's a great card.
You're getting
Classic
a top.
card.
You're getting a top loader too, Lando. So, apologies everybody if it freezes while I'm over here trying to get a top loader. Touch the screen so it doesn't die. Don't want one of those, Jeff. I have special top loaders for the thicker cards. I have a card shop in my back office. It's hilarious how quickly that happens. All right, Jeff. Let's look at this together
Great
before we
pull,
move
man.
on.
That's a good one. He's an interesting character because he's just a spy, so I believe he loses his gambler text.
He's still
So I
a
believe
he's still
spy
a
is-
pilot though, right? He's a pilot and a warrior.
Yeah, but the thing about it is so like he's a spy, right? You're Frosty.
Yeah.
So he's a spy, and I believe he pulls undercover from your deck, right?
Okay. While at a site you control, rebels are immune to none shall pass. Undercover may deploy on Tamtel from reserve deck reshuffle. That's a good.
Yeah,
looking
I
card,
never
though.
liked that. I always thought he should be like U3PO, and he should just be allowed to be an undercover spy upon deploy.
Huh. All right. Well, I'll give it to
Yeah,
you.
because U3PO from A New Hope was like that. It's an excellent card. So they should have made Lando as useful as that one droid.
Okay. And then I was going to say, by the way, just getting back to the chat, running the risk of the screen freezing up, getting bored listening to me talk about the chat. Exploding Ruins is agreeing that like a non-numbered set of cards is just maddening.
Yeah, but also you can figure out how alphabets work.
But then again, it's look at that. We got different types. Okay, let's just go to our this guy.
Oh, he that's what's his name? The
Shasa Teal.
yeah.
Power 1 at any swamp during opponent's control phase may use 3 force to examine the account cards and force pile, reorder however you wish, and replace. Not bad. Those are always fun, right? Ones where you're actually allowed to muck with
People's stuff.
with
Yeah.
people's decks and
That's
stuff.
not a particularly useful card, but
It's funny looking.
if we're being honest, it's not a great one. I would never use that in an actual.
What about like a sealed pack thing or whatever, right? Or some weird thing like if we ever broke open.
If that was my
this guy.
if that was my one rare in a sealed deck, I would lose my mind. Hidden Weapons, great card.
Ooh, and so this is I'm guessing uncommon because I switched up the order when I put him down for that one. All right.
Yeah, that's a good card.
Jetpack, love that, and weapon levitation.
Weapon Levitation, great. If you get Blaster Deflection, that's what's your rare?
So the rare was this Joker.
Oh, it was him. Okay, yeah. Yeah, I think the best card nowadays to pull is actually blaster deflection.
Didn't we? I think we got that on a previous pull. Frosty
I
again,
think we
Jeff,
did
getting
pull
to it.
one.
So I mean, it's good. It's funny. Like, yeah, it's an interesting set because you run into the CCG dynamic of, as a collector, right? We're looking for, when you're thinking like Impel Marvel, right? You're looking for we get the dark side skiff to match the light side, and this is always fun, right? In these sets, you'll have the same card on both sides that are pretty much the same stats, but just a different picture, different backing.
Yeah.
You're looking.
Jabba's Sail Barge is a good one.
Yeah, that's one that you can get. Is that uncommon? I think it's rare though, right?
It's rare, but actually, now that I think about it, I think it might be. Is that in special edition?
I thought it was in this one when I was looking over. And
No,
as
it's in this
mentioned,
one. I'm thinking of.
if my
In special edition has Jabba's like actual spaceship.
oh,
Oh, you're a
okay.
Korra, nice.
This guy was in Labyrinth. I'm fairly certain, right? He was riding around on a fox.
You're right.
Yep. Will take me. Okay. By the way, we do have a dark side alien at the end. Like I said, I'm doing Egar
Ooh,
Chow.
it could be.
So could be
Could
Jabba.
be Bib Fortuna. It could be Jabba. It could be Effant Mon.
Okay.
It could be what's his name there? Malakili.
Ooh, who's this? Giron? Boo. 2/2.
Oh, nice. Nikto, right? Or no,
Giron.
yeah.
Gyron? Jiren. Jiren. How many ways can we say it? Sound off in the chat.
Yeah.
So I will take that, by the way.
He's not bad though, because he can be he's basically like, you can use him as a human shield for your alien leaders, so it'd be really good to protect like Jabba and Effant Mon.
That's always fun, right? So especially more so with I would say interrupts is right. You've got the thing where they think they get to do kill Darth Vader, and you're like, actually, hate to tell you, kill a stormtrooper, and you wasted a billion force to do it.
Blaster deflection's even better because you can actually retarget a character on the opponent's side.
Yeah, if I wasn't worried about everything going to heck if I step away for too long, I would go pull that from my reserve where I'm, like I said, still figuring out how I want to organize these. I have just been doing alphabetical, but then we get into the conundrum of binders, Jeff. Okay, we actually got a location.
My suggestion is to do them alphabetical. Oh, nice, the audience chamber. That's a great one.
For light side too, yeah. Any villainy
because that's the one where you can pull scum and villainy, and you can pull. Oh no, dark side.
May deploy
chamber.
It's bow shooter for light side. So bow shooter you can pull.
Yeah.
And then you're saying
for the dark
scum
side
and
version, you can pull any alien.
Oh wow.
Yeah, it's pretty awesome.
Okay,
the dark
we
side
got a
version.
weapon. Okay. Dengar's modified riot.
It's Dengar's blaster card, right? The riot card. That's a good one. That's pretty cool.
2 force to deploy on Dengar. 5 on any. Wow, that's expensive. Okay, so hopefully it's good because it costs you 5 if it's not Dengar. May target a non-droid character using 3 force, draw destiny. Character is immediately captured if destiny plus. That's pretty good actually. This has got a good shot.
It's actually a very good card to use at that time because there weren't a lot of very high ability characters, but there were bounties. So you could put like a hot bounty. If you're playing in Jabba's Palace, you put a hot bounty on like Han, who's only ability 3. And as long as you don't pull a 0, you immediately capture him, and then you can cash in the forfeit. You can cash in the bounty, which would be his forfeit. And if it's Han, I believe it's his forfeit plus 4. Ooh. So you can like retrieve 12 force almost instantly.
What is the highest ability Han gets to at this point? Because he's got a couple, right?
I think Han always stays at ability 3.
Oh yeah, so that's plus 3 off the bat. So, and then you know that's where this game gets crazy too, right? If you've got some interrupter effect that lets you pack search the deck, another skiff. Again, these are gonna. This guy looks new, but these are gonna be redundant because these are all our.
Now, Dre, what they did learn to do is one of the things that they learned how to do, and that's Jabba's Palace topic. That is a great starting location if you're the dark side, by the way.
May deploy 1 Jabba's Palace site from reserve. Yeah, so because you get a second one immediately.
Once per turn.
Oh, per turn?
So it's, yeah.
Oh, during. Oh, I see. I missed. You got to check before the semicolons. As a developer, I should learn that, Jeff. During deploy phase. Wow, that is good.
Yeah, that's a great card. Yarna Dalgargan's another really great card, by the way.
You were bringing up this card.
Scum and Villainy, nice.
That you can pull, so I'm assuming it's a half decent card.
Scum and Villain's a good card. That's the card that goes perfectly with that Jabba's Palace thing.
Well, all
It's
your
a way to
abilities.
basically really, really push the meta game of using aliens, and not just valuable, unique aliens, but like that would be good for a dark side Jawa deck. Because if you look at it, it like protects them. Like if you read what it does, all the generic Jawas become like they have higher power, I believe, right? And they are cheaper to deploy.
And I know that, by the way, this is interesting because I'm thinking StarCraft had a similar trick, and I know like Darth Vader, where any game where you have the ability to superpower a cheap unit. And so the reason I think of StarCraft is one of the top players found a way to use battle cruisers to cast shield on a bunch of Marines, and Marines are hyper cheap. So essentially, you could have a bunch of souped up Marines that just could not die, that just destroyed things.
Oh, we did that. My brother did that. We built a deck together that was a way to make basically invincible, super buffed stormtroopers, because there's a card called Trooper Assault, which makes all your troopers power +2 and immune to attrition.
And I'm dealing with
And
a
another
Frosty, don't
interrupt
worry.
called Dark Jedi Presence, which doubles them. You're Frosty. There you go.
Ooh, what's this planet,
And
by
when
the
you would
way?
do that, you would end up with, is that Tibrin or
Kirdo,
Clackdor?
Kirdo 3.
Kurdo 3, that's where Droopy McCool is from. That's a bad card. It sucks.
Oh, that was the,
Eh.
sorry. You could have hyped the audience, Jeff, because that's the last card of the night, or the last rare of the
Oh,
night,
is it?
and that's what we end on.
Is it?
But that being said, Jeff, we got this is all we're looking for, and
You got
these
your
cards
10
looking
pals
pretty
3.
good. These cards are actually in pretty good shape. Like whoever stored the box, I actually should get a better top loader. That's the one thing. If you order top loaders in the mail, they'll get a lot of tape residue because people use painter's tape and stuff on them. So this, I think, was actually a spare one that I had from when somebody sent me something. And that's a weird story about getting stuff in the mail, Jeff, is just like how easy it is to not be bad at sending people stuff in the mail, because you can be really, really cheap, for lack of a better word, and still send people stuff in good condition. Because I brought up my Gambit story where we had Gambit, right? I ordered a Gambit non-bolded one from Marvel Impel 1991, and the person sent it in a folded over piece of paper. That was it. And today I received another folded over on like makeshift envelope. They print out the eBay label and they just use that label as the envelope, which is a scary prospect whenever you get one of those in the mail. But they used a top loader, they used penny sleeves, they put stuff on top. Like it is so easy to put 2 pieces of cardboard around your cards to keep them safe and use top loaders. Unless you're a noob like me, Jeff, and send a Rey Mysterio with no protection to your friend. Oh man, that happened. That happened.
Embarrassing.
Go back in time. So you're here at Jeff Has Cool Cards. This is the part of the show where we wrap up and talk about what Jeff and I will be doing for the remainder of the week. Maybe I'll just pull out a binder of cards and go through them slowly while we talk that. But yeah, I was just gonna say. Sending stuff in the mail, it's just so fascinating. And you got people like Jeff who have learned to do it. You do it like a science. You've got bubble wrap, penny sleeves.
Oh, it is not a great science. No, it's not a very good science.
The end. Okay, so this is okay. Well, man, Jeff, why are you pulling up the nerd tangent? So, by the way, let's get down the rabbit holes first. The important stuff. Patreon.com/Jeff May. If you like what you see, go there, help subscribe. The easiest ways to help and subscribe, by the way, interestingly enough, are you can just leave a like. You can subscribe to this channel itself. I'll go to wider view in a sec. You can do so many things that don't cost money, but then if you want to do a little more, if you want to spend money, you can go over to patreon.com/Jeff May, and you can get stuff sent to you in the mail. And Jeff is doing the thing that is wrong. You're not supposed to do this as a salesman. He is admitting it is harder than it looks, but that's actually most things. If you see things that look polished, that look good, the reality is a lot of hard work went in behind them. So again, patreon.com/Jeff May, stuff sent to you in the mail. And key point relating to the channel you were at, Jeff Has Cool Cards. That's going up, right? End of the year, right? January 1st.
Wait, why is the book sideways?
Because I don't want to keep hitting the tripod. And this we're just
Okay.
So that's how we get to look at it. We just went Frosty. But Jeff, correct me if I'm wrong. Jeff Has Cool Cards.
Yes.
The rookie card tiers, stuff sent to you in the mail. That is currently a ridiculous price. Some would say too cheap. Some people, when you did it, Jeff, even said it's too cheap. That is currently at $35 base. That's going up at the end of the year, correct?
Yeah, after December 31st, it's going to $40. But I will honor all grandfathered in price points. So if somebody gets on December 29th, if they sign up for the $35 tier, I will sacrifice that $60 a year to keep them in because I like building those. And I think the more people I have, the more I get to open. So like I like the idea of being able to do that. Like it'll all even itself out.
Well, also
So
the more people we get, and actually, Jeff, maybe I'll just organize and hate myself because I'm gonna have to see if I can do things alphabetically. I'm gonna start Dark Side. So
don't do it.
it's fun. Don't you love organizing?
Frosty.
Frosty again. Oh, I can't. All right. So anyway, let's wrap this up quick then, Jeff. So, all right. So patreon.com/Jeff May. Sign up for the rookie card tier now. Last chance because prices are going up. Jeff is, I mean, you're saying 40 on air. You might want to reconsider, but we got plenty of time to discuss that, right, Jeff? That being said,
Oh, you mean, do you think I'm still not doing, I still haven't put it up enough?
I think you're one of the best deals in the game.
Yeah, no, it's a pretty good deal. It's a deal that where like financially speaking, I wouldn't say I'm making much off of it, but I like doing it, and I think that that's a good way for me to build it so that I can eventually make more money off it. But
Yeah.
it's kind of it's about break even after like all my all the expenses and everything.
So here's what we're going to do, Jeff, just for fun, because my thing is being hard. Well, we just wind down. We're only going to do this for a couple minutes, but I will at least look over the Jabba's Palace CCG for some of the stuff. As Jeff mentioned, Droopy McCool is somebody you can pull. So that is a lot of fun.
Yep.
But okay,
And
so
then if you have Curdo 3, it's even better.
Curdo 3. Oh, yeah, with Droopy McCool. Card we just pulled. I'm actually really curious now. But so to Jeff's point, we are still in the building phase of Jeff Has Cool Cards, which is good news for you because Jeff likes breaking cool stuff and Jeff doesn't have enough space to store it all in his house because you've been collecting for a lifetime. You have an amazing collection of stuff in your, like, I've seen it. You got some really, really cool stuff. So Jeff sends that to you, and since we're still building, it's still a good deal. If you want the best tier, if you want to be on like the rookie card, the rookie card tier, right? Sign up now. It's 35, goes up at the end of the year. It'll be 40, and then if we start growing fast, it can only stay 40 for so long. So keep that in mind. And I have pulled Droopy McCool, by the way, this Jamoker. Anyway, yeah. All right, Jeff. So Tuesday, let's see. You did the I'm okay. Help me out because I'm dropping names and I don't want to be rude to anybody by like fumbling around.
So Danielle Soto's episode is going to drop tomorrow for free. Danielle Soto is an absolutely brilliant, talented, and amazing comedian and host, and she's actually a foremost expert on the Golden Girls.
So
she's. Go ahead.
And okay, a few questions. So yeah, she runs a Golden Girls podcast. Have you been on an episode of that yet? I think you were, right?
I was on an episode in 2015 and fell asleep. But my problem was insomnia. I hadn't slept for like 2 days.
Oh, man, Jeff, because I think I heard, like, here's the thing. As we are about to discuss, you are on a billion podcasts, so it's hard to keep even the stuff I like. Like, here's the thing, Jeff. I apologize. Don't tell your friends that I said this, Jeff. Jeff is part of the Gamefully Unemployed Network. Does Tom and Jeff Watch Batman's on Wednesday? There will be a Tom and Jeff Watch Batman on Wednesday. Am I correct?
Yep. There, I was. I will finish up my notes for it after this stream.
Okay, so Tom and Jeff Watch Batman. They on the Gamefully Unemployed Network, they released a new show called Batical, and they did an interesting thing that we've had discussions about. This show itself, Jeff Has Cool Cards, does. You branch off. They made its own feed. It's not on the main disc. It's not on the main Patreon feed for Gamefully Unemployed. So I've actually missed your episode, and my ADHD brain officially diagnosed, as we've discussed on this show, as well as 2TV Gaming coming up next. We have discussed. I keep forgetting to listen to it because I have to remember to go track it down as opposed to my audio feed just releasing it to me. So Jeff's got a lot of stuff I'm going to have to go find. So the Danielle Soto episode, the Golden Girls episode 2015, I think on the actual podcast yourself, you discussed would there be a new episode, and you are pretty knowledgeable about the Golden Girls. It is a fantastic listen. Danielle is awesome. I'm really curious to see how long the swear cut, which is what its patrons can expect tomorrow. And then here, Jeff, just a shout out to the nerd episode we recently did on Monster Cereal, very topical for the month. Again, all of this over at the Jeff Has Cool Friends podcast feed. Free. You get the nerd episode for free there as well. You get it early if you're on the Patreon. But Jeff, we brought up Monster cereal, and when you asked Danielle about like favorite Monster cereal to do nice synergy, I was so proud. Thank you, Jeff. And she said, "Does Toucan Sam count?" I was so angry because I'm watching someone else that has done zero prep for our podcast topic, right? Did zero prep for Monster cereal. And with no prep and no time, landed what I would argue was a better joke than any I made during that show. And we know this. Daniel Soto is hilarious, but that's just one of those things where like LeBron's like, hey, it was like LeBron's like, hey, do you mind if I dribble over here and just does something? And you're just like, yep, that they're one. And you and Tom, I've mentioned, do that a lot, are just so freaking good that sometimes I watch what you do almost effortlessly. Zero practice, zero time. I'm just like ridiculous. So listen to that episode. It's great. So that's Tuesday. Wednesday, as mentioned, Tom and Jeff watch Batman on the Gamefully Unemployed Network. You're going to be breaking cards. Any spoilers on your breaks? Or are we going to wait till Wednesday to discover on I Must Break You on this very network, 1 p.m. Central or 1 p.m. Pacific time? Jeff has cool cards.
Here's the thing. Wednesday is the drop of my favorite sports card box. But it's not only sports. It's Allen and Ginter.
Oh, we love the Allen
2024
Ginter.
Allen and Ginter drops on Wednesday the 30th, I believe. And if that's the case, I might go grab a hobby box of that. So that might be the case. There's a good chance that'll happen.
I love it. I'm going to keep you a few minutes after we end the show, and I'll bug you about that, actually, because that is one of my favorite sets, too. Okay, Thursday over at Mike Mayhew Studios on the Whatnot app. Jeff, you're doing that again this week? That's a typical Thursday for you?
But we're doing a special episode that starts at noon.
So you typically do 2 times a day. So what's special? Leak it to the listeners.
It's Halloween. Well, because it's Halloween, we can't doing the night show would be a waste of time, and I was like, yeah, man, that seems like a waste of my Halloween night. I don't think we should do this. And he's like, oh, that's a fair point.
I keep forgetting that. Yeah, we'll be my kid's going out as Scream, as Ghostface from Scream. He just liked the mask that was at one of the pop-ups. So that'll be what we're doing.
Well, Mike has he's been doing remarks of, he did an Obi-Wan cover where he made Obi-Wan wear the Scream mask.
Oh, that's cool. I may have to bug you or take a look if I have time to tune in if you've got opinions or whatever on like that. But anyway, so Jeff, like, I don't know, are you doing just the straight auto or are you doing the mystery pack? So Jeff does these both on Whatnot. 2 things. It's fun to watch. It's a real joy. What I've learned, Jeff, is I've started just getting the high of watching it and enjoying it, not buying anything because it's too tempting. It's too much cool stuff. But that's the Whatnot app. Some of the best deals you're going to find if you are a fan of amazing comic art, signed comic art by Mike Mayhew is one of the best in the game.
Oh, it's a great deal. Yeah, I really like that. I think Mike's done a very good job of making a very accessible thing, and I really do enjoy that. So we'll have that. And
that's noon. So if you're used to this normally, it's 30 minutes earlier than normal. So definitely check out Mike Mayhew Studios on Instagram is a good one to follow. Of course, follow Jeff on all the socials. Hey there, Jeffro, across the board. Because occasionally, if Halloween interrupts a normally scheduled program, you got to follow to know. Like, and if Allen Ginter drops super early and he wants to break something early on Jeff Has Cool Cards, you have to know. So like, subscribe, follow. Anything else in an already stacked week, Jeff?
I mean, not really. Just just we're having a busy but fun week together. I got a lot of really good stuff coming in. Like I said, very excited that Allen and Ginter is coming out. It is my favorite set to buy. So very excited to see what I might be able to pull. And if I don't get Allen and Ginter on Wednesday, or if somehow the shipment doesn't come in, I got lots of cool stuff that I could open. So.
Oh, and I'm hoping, by the way, I'm just going through the Star Wars CCG cards in the background because, I don't want to trust my camera. And, man, this Rancor, I hope I get one of those in this box because we kind of mentioned this collection-wise. Well, this is the funny thing. Collection-wise, you're not guaranteed to get a full set because you're constrained to 1 rare a pack. And then, of course, the other aspect is a lot of the rares are like, hey, this is a really good card that's good for the game you are playing. Whereas, like, I'm used to, the Impel set of, like, I want the rare to be a special character and a hologram. So, like, the Rancor kind of counts as that. All right, Jeff, that is already an amazing week. Looking forward to all of that. Shout outs again, patreon.com/Jeff May. You are at Jeff Has Cool Cards. If you wound up here by autoplay and didn't know that, Jeff Has Cool Cards. Like, subscribe. It helps us out. Hey there, Jeff Rowe on the socials. At Nerd Numbers on the socials. Anything else, Jeff?
No, I think you guys did great. Thank you so much for joining us. It means a lot.
All right, I'm about to play us out. I'm going to try and talk to you for 5 minutes after, if that is all right, Jeff. And then hopefully I'm going to go over and play some racing, play some games with my buddy Landon, who has been in the chat. So thank you for that.
Oh, hell yeah, Landon.
All right, let's play us out and click stop.
All right, bye, everyone.
28 seconds long, this thing is.
That's very long.
It's not too bad.
I mean, it's pretty long.
Pretty long? I don't know. We'll
I mean,
see if they hear that.